Voter intimidation and limiting people's ability to vote is not only historically significant, but it's very significant even today. And the tactics are a little different now. They have like billionaires funding the Tea Party, the Koch brothers funding the Tea Party. They got legislators who are trying to eliminate collective bargaining among unions in Wisconsin, and they got legislators in New Hampshire trying to make sure that college kids can't vote. And what's interesting is the reason that William O'Brien is the guy's name. He's the speaker in New Hampshire. And the reason he gave was that basically the young people were fools and they voted their feelings, and they were going to vote liberal, which is a strange kind of logic, because if you apply that kind of logic, in my mind, well, you could say the same thing about anyone who has in excess of $5 million. Anyone who's a millionaire should be eliminated from political activity altogether, because they have no relationship at all with the vast majorities of people in the United States.
Well, Malcolm said it best. He who controls the way you think controls the way you act. So if you have a liberal cracker teaching you for generations after generation, then the mindset of that said student will be that of a liberal. If you have just a straight up devil, racist to the core, the 10%, the bloodsuckers of the poor, if you have this kind of person teaching our youth for generation after generation, that child, the mindset of that youth will be that of a bloodsucker of the poor. So we have to look at, when these crackers talk about the youth movements and stopping and try to legislate laws against youth movements, if we study our history, the youth are the ones to lead the change. The youth are the ones to lead the revolution. These are the ones to take us into the next so-called new millennium or the new world order. So as long as the black child is kept docile, as long as the black child is to be made weak and continue to have homosexuality put in front of him and made to be a faggot or a lesbian at a very early age, do you realize now that these crackers are teaching our children in their school curriculum about gay activists and what they call the diverse multicultural curriculum? So these are the things that we're continuously going through. So it doesn't surprise me to hear a cracker talk like this. It doesn't surprise me at all. It makes me think, though, that black people need to wake up, clean up, and stand up. Because as long as we are keeping our minds focused on voting for another coon, voting for another devil to put somebody in office to do for us what we should and will be doing for ourselves eventually, then we're going to always be in this condition of having to beg at the feet of white people.
It is true. We have absolutely no control over our own education system. Do you think that more control of the black community over the school structure that their kids are involved in would produce a different result, or?
We need a thorough knowledge of ourselves. We need to learn who we are as a great and mighty people. As long as we are dependent upon our enemies to teach us how to be that great king or that great queen or that great black god or great black goddess, then we look like fools today. We really look like strong coons, continuing to beg our slave master to teach us a thorough knowledge of ourselves. When this no-good Peckerwood has clearly shown us he doesn't love us, he has no care of us, no remorse for us, no respect for us. So we need to create our own educational system. We need to create our own school and school system and curriculum. We can no longer, in 2011, look for this cracker to teach us on how to build and do for ourselves. That is not freedom. That is basically religion. That is what religion has led us to. So if the black man is God and the black woman is the earth, then how is it that we have become so docile, so weak, so minstreled and watermeloned out, that we have to still run around here and legislate, fight and vote and march and sing and dance just to have African history? I didn't say African American history, African history, true African history. And I teach a lot of people because they always ask me, I'm always asked the question, well, how are y'all stopping the violence? Well, I mean, if you can't stop the violence in your own self first, you can't look for me to stop the violence. If we can't teach our babies how great they are, the greatness of themselves, this is why our babies murder each other by the thousands with no love and honor about it. Because as long as I see you as just the N-word, as long as I see you as nothing, then I'm seeing myself as the very same thing. So it's easy for me to put a bullet in the head of nothing than it is for me to stand up and be a man and put a bullet in the same no good peck of wood that brought us here and put us in this condition in the first place.
We have quite a few different quote-unquote leaders or leading blacks in the community. And each one of them has a specific, their own unique spin as to how to get us out of the condition we're in. Malana Karinga, when you talk about the issue of reparations, says that reparations, that we're entitled to reparations for some sort of moral aspect, and that money should be put into the education system. You have quite a few leading blacks or black leaders who specifically believe, or at least espouse, political strength. You have legislators and a black president, and you have religious leaders who espouse more jobs at Walmart. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just a myriad of solutions. How would you address some of these leaders? You have, and there seems to be like differences within the black community itself among the leadership. Mm-hmm. Some advocate for a curriculum of diversity and tolerance, and others like Ruben Diaz Sr., who are in the clergy is dead set against that. So you have different philosophies within the structure of black leadership. Mm-hmm. Is it possible for all of these leaders to come together in some sort of way and carve out a plan for black youth in black America that leads to a successful conclusion for us?
Yes, anything is possible, especially when we're talking about the upliftment and liberation and salvation of the black nation. Anything is possible. But the question remains is, how dedicated are you to the struggle of our people? How sincere are you to the struggle of our people? One of the great problems that I see, sir, is that our egos get in the way. We can't differentiate our egos. We can't separate the me attitude, the all about me, I want to be self-grandized, compared to the struggle and the liberation of those who paved the way before us. So it is possible, but we worried about whose religion is the best. We worry about who got the best gator shoes on. We worry about who got the silkiest bow tie on. You understand? I mean, we worry about stuff that has no relevance to our upliftment as a people. This is why the Mexican people, the Latino people can unite. They can call for a mass rally in one day, and they shut America down in one day. Where we unfortunately, still got to beg the white man to get off the plantation for that one day. We still create excuses, weak, cooning excuses. And this is wrong. This is what is wrong that I see with a lot of these black leaders. They have their own hidden agendas because they're really not about the struggle of our people. They're really not about the liberation of our people. They're really not about revolution. They just want a little trinkets from their slave master. They want a little 501c3 from the slave master. They want a little pat on the head. Or if they're only getting one pat, they want 2 or 3 extra pats. They want a little extra overtime on the plantation. So the whole feeling of being able to struggle is gone in black leaders today. Because the white man knows all I got to do is give these cooning Negroes a little check and they're going to be okay. So my little nigga, you just go on back in the corner over there and you better behave yourself. See? And we're stuck in that mentality. We're stuck in the trying to please massa mentality. And until we send a message, a clear, direct message to this no good slave master that we want freedom. We're not begging for freedom. We're taking our freedom. How are we taking our freedom? We're opening up schools and hospitals. We're opening up programs and we're opening up self-awareness programs, political education classes. So now we don't have to worry about voting in a coon for our president. Most of our people have gone back to sleep, put the covers over their heads, start snoring again. Because they feel as though now they have a black man in office, everything is going to be all right. But did you know that gun sales have gone up? Cracker militias have gone up. It's almost 200 militias since Obama, white militias, since Barack Obama has got in office. Why is that? Because these crackers know and understand that their demise is coming. Their world is coming down, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad speaks on the fall of America. So as we're looking at our leaders to save us, our leaders are turning their backs on us. And we're left with nothing but our own black selves all over again. So again, it's time to wake up, clean up, and stand up. Build a nation of our own. We don't have to follow the white man's political system. We can build our own political structure, build our own transportation structure, build our own educational structure, build our own industrial and commerce structure. See? So when we have the community gardens all across the country in different cities, you know, the cracker is now trying to make those community gardens illegal. So he's showing us his love for us, but we continue to show him our love for him by turning our back on our own people. A lot of these dudes just want a damn check from the cracker, man. A lot of these dudes just want to sleep with no good, nasty cracker women. And they're happy with that. And they feel as though that's as far that they've made change. They can now lie and slob all over a nasty cracker in the bed. That's not change. That is not change. Malcolm said it best. You want change, it's going to take some bloodshed. That is revolution.
So it's safe to assume on my part that the new Black Panther Party, their agenda is more nationalism than socialism?
Yes, sir. We are black nationalists.
So what would you say to a Malana Karenga who you know, and I'm not even going to get into differences between us and the Panthers historically or any of that, but just the modern concept of how to distribute reparations money. What would be your thoughts on that?
If the white man gave us reparations, the cracker would get it right back tomorrow. He's so wickedly wise. Let me just throw something at you. The cracker is so wise, he would create a reparations Lexus. Okay? New Lexus, red, black, and green it out for you, gold rims, give you the works. Reparations edition Lexus. How many of those Lexuses you think will be sold today if the cracker gave us some reparations money? We would give every dime right back to that cracker. So there has to be a struggle. It has to be earned. We cannot beg this